So, hi, Patrick Chandler at ptlarts.com. Okay, so over the last few videos, um, I've shared some of the thoughts on the subjects of reveal the artist within you, inspire yourself and those around you, as well as discussion on what relating to art and business. So, what relationships mean to me in art. It's huge subject. I think that's why I've chosen them to be like the principles behind PTL Arts, because there's a lot of work to be done all the time on each of those areas. Now I want to move to be more focused on building an art business. All of the advice is based on my journey so far. I'm in the middle of this journey, and my intent is to inspire you to get out there, put your work out there. Already in the limited time that I've been challenging myself, amazing changes in my outlook and general health and energy levels has taken place. This, I know, is directly linked to a shift in mindset from passive to active. This momentum takes time to gather. It's a bit like a tree as it grows. You get the rings, you can't perceive what's happened, but you do grow. So that's how I want to encourage you with it. It doesn't seem like you're getting anywhere, but then as the weeks and days and weeks and months progress, you realize how far you've gone. Actually, I've gone from not really having the faintest idea of going online as a business was about, only on a really minimal level, in as much as posting my stuff on social media, but not with any sort of focus or understanding. I've been encouraged at selling some stuff by good fortune through having it on the social media, and that was about it really. But so it's only a year that I've been on this journey, and already I've got quite a massive understanding, which is what I want to share really. Anyway, so when I engage in some action every day, I start to view everything in a more focused way, so that if you take a step each day towards what you're doing, gradually you can start to articulate and understand exactly what you're doing. So the last thing before I show you some practical steps in the next few videos, I'll show you some stuff that you can do. I'll show you my social media accounts and how I'm developing those, because it is developing. But so the last thing I just want to talk about is a relationship with money. Oh, money. What is this strange thing called money? And it's a strange sort of relationships, isn't it? We've all got, some of us have got good and some not so good. So money to me has always been a bit mysterious. I guess in my culture, like in the UK, conservative South Coast, or the culture that I've created myself, money just is never discussed. It's almost dirty. It's a dirty thing to talk about. You know, it's never discussed. For some reason, how much money somebody has is private information. Is this a good thing? I'm not really sure. Whereas, as they say, the jury's out on that one. Like many things I'm discovering in my later years that are not talked about for a number of reasons. There's many things, yeah. Some people appear to have lots of money, but in fact, in reality, just have a way of borrowing loads of it, a high credit rating, or they're skilled at borrowing. Others have a distinct dislike of and lack of respect for money and the whole system. That's kind of what I developed, I think. Ignorance. So, like, one way of dealing with ignorance is by saying it's, I don't want anything to do with it. So, others love money and they want more of it, and consequently, quite often get more of it. Don't know if you want to have it and enjoy sharing their good fortune. So where am I in this one? I genuinely still feel pretty ignorant, would be a fair assessment. You see, I always thought that some people have it and others don't. Clearly, that is in part true, but it's more complex than that, isn't it? I also think that if I haven't got it, I'm in a vulnerable position. I kind of got to the position of not wanting it and at the same time not wanting to be without it. This is not really a great place to be in doing business from. Like everything, however, it has its positive side. I tend to keep reasonable approach to not owing anyone anything. But interestingly, if you're not like in this energy flow of owing people and then paying them back, of course, then you're sort of out of the business loop in a sense, which I'm starting to understand. So you have to be sort of prepared to put yourself on the line and invest in things and hoping you'll get about to it's like kind of a gamble, which again is another thing. You know, you get your fingers burnt, you invest in something and it just doesn't work and you just don't want to do it again. And it's because I haven't really understood what I'm doing. So I'm in that part of the journey. That's partly why like I'm doing some painting training courses on my website at ptlarts.com. They're free at the moment because not because I don't think that they're worth paying for. It's just because I'm still positioning myself about exactly how I stand with that. Whereas selling my paintings, for example, I've gradually seen a 25% increase last year in what I'm selling a painting for, and I can own that quite reasonably because I know how much work I've put into it. So I'm beginning to grasp that is that I create value with what I make, i.e. painting, I create value, you know, put energy, I'm sort of, and it is worth a transaction. So it's like energy is a way that I'm beginning to figure is the best way to think of it. Money, it's energy, so the energy flow. And I'm not alone. I think I've heard other people talking about, well, no, I've heard other people talking about it in this way. I can get the idea that if I put energy into creating something and that energy has value, that in turn is an exchange energy in the form of money. So if I put time and energy into something, you know, it's, yeah, so that made sense to me. So I feel comfortable, much more comfortable with this idea of money, because after all, what is it? It's numbers. In fact, more and more, you've hardly, actually, the thing is what I grew up with, like having the thing in a little tin. I'd get like a couple of pennies pocket money and I'd save it in a little tin. That was kind of, and there was this huge, that you've got to save your money because, yeah, because what actually business is showing me that like with trillions of dollars, pounds, whatever in debt, everybody is, and that's the way it works. Um, so, but I wasn't taught that, and I didn't go out to learn it either. I just thought I need money to pay the rent, pay the mortgage, and that's my understanding. So, for a business, it is wise to look at it, this energy. Be honest with yourself. A great starting point is to really look at how you use the money you've got, if you have it. It is possible to build the foundation of an arts business with very little overheads, I've found, especially online. When I buy something pertaining to my artwork, I keep a record of it. This is the start. It doesn't matter if it is expensive or just a brush. This is bought with energy. Consequently, I'm more motivated to do something with it when I've paid for it. And that comes back to like, I know that eventually my courses, when I've got them, you know, as full of valuable content as I can, that, you know, it's the same, exactly the same thing. It's no different. So, but you want to pay for it. You're more likely to engage with it if you pay for it. So, the other man's grass is always greener approach will soon evaporate any cash that you have. There will be a load of art stuff in the loft that gathers dust, and you end up giving away in a yard sale or a jumble sale in the UK someday. So, over the next videos, I'm going to share some of the steps I've taken to get myself out there, as it were. So I'm going to look at accounts, keeping accounts, simple tasks that, you know, you either go, oh, I'm not really, I hate doing all of that, or I don't do any of that. It just really helps build up your confidence. So I'll show you how I do it, and you can design how you do it yourself, I'm sure. More about materials, you know, and what you do and what you don't need, and again, to thinking of having this like pile of stuff that's in the garage and doesn't get used if you don't want to do it. Training, that's really interesting. I've been through some training, which I'm going to share as much as I can with you for free. Over the next few videos, I'll go into that training that I've learned so far and share what and point you in some directions if you're interested in doing more of it. Working consistently, let's talk more about that. I've touched on it so far. Building a social media presence. So like I'm early on in the game, but I've got 3K Twitter followers. I've got nearly 1,000 or so Instagram followers, and that's growing quite fast because I'm getting the hang of that. Pinterest, I've only just learned some stuff about that. Facebook, I've used for quite a long time, and the uses of that and how we can use it without being a pain in the pain. LinkedIn as well. I think as an artist, a visual artist in particular, all of these platforms are useful. Like for any other sort of business, it's best to pick one or two of them, depending on what you're doing. So, and also brand, principles, goals, and long-term strategy. I'll talk about that. Engagement plans, talk about that, and exhibitions plan and execution. So that'll be over the next few videos. So thank you very much. Thumbs up or down, comments, and I'll answer them. Thank you very much.